हाँ कर दो, एक बार मैं देख लेता हूँ। हाँ, बस बात मत कीजिएगा क्योंकि वो रिकॉर्ड होता रहेगा।
So hi everyone, good evening. क्या हाल चाल है सबके? I hope everyone is doing good. Thank you so much everyone who was joining on this YouTube live on this Sunday evening. So if my voice is clearly audible, please press a yes on the chat box so that I can be clear that my voice is totally audible. And my screen is also visible. The chart of Nifty is there. Plus, good evening Praveen, good evening Akash, good evening Pushparaj. I hope my screen is visible properly, right? Perfect. And my voice is also clearly audible. So let's wait for a minute for the audience to build up, and then we'll start with market kya lagta hai. Of course, we'll be discussing about what's the market way ahead in the next few days, which stocks you should watch out for in the coming days, and what is the strategy basically you should apply for the next few weeks in the markets, right? Okay, so, so I'll just explain the work of the YouTube live flow, what we'll do. So first I'll be explaining about my views on few charts like Nifty, Bank Nifty, USD INR dollar index, right? And then we'll discuss about few stocks which I've lined up for you all, which you can see on the screen, right? And then of course I'll take queries from you all about what are the doubts you have, what are the uh, stock specific queries you have, and we'll discuss those charts live in this analysis. Okay, so be with me till the end so that you can ask your questions. You can, of course, there is a surprise for you all as well at the end, right? So please be there till the end. And just before we start, a disclaimer from my side: all the stocks discussed in this webinar are purely for educational purpose, whether it be stocks or any index. You should always consult your financial advisor. We are not responsible for your action. This is purely an educational webinar. Okay, so let's start. So of course, let's first see our view on Nifty, right? Of course, we had a very big volatile week. Last week was very highly volatile. We saw big moves in Nifty. We saw 17,100 was the high, and it closed near the day's low or the week's low, right? So in the weekly charts, what we can see, there's a historical support of 16,400, right? You all must have remembered that that day where we had multiple times taken support at 16,400, right? So Nifty right now, if we see in the weekly charts as well as on the daily charts, the only level which I can see as a strong support is 16,400, where in December we made a good bottom and then we saw a rally up till 18,200, right? So this will act as a psychological support, right? On the daily charts, Nifty has formed a doji candle. So I'll just take 2 minutes of you all to explain what is a doji, right? A doji is a candle which is an indecisive candle, right? Where the buyers and sellers, no one is winning, right? So doji mein kya hua? The Nifty opened at, of course, there was a gap down opening last day because of the world markets. Dow had fallen around 1,000 points, right? So we saw a doji candle after a gap down, which means after the gap down, there was a fight between the bulls and the bears, right? And the best part was the bulls defended 16,410 on closing. So if you see the low of 20th December, which is very important, that was 16,410, right? And we closed at exactly 16,411. So you see that the bulls were trying to defend this level, right? Are you all with me? Please a quick yes on the chat box, right? So for us, the next week, the most crucial levels are 16,400 on closing basis, right? And the low of the last day. So last day ka low was almost at these levels of 16,340. So if we break last Friday ka low, then of course bears had a dominance, because we are already, the trend is weak. We are forming a lower high and lower low on the daily as well as on the weekly charts, right? So the two crucial levels to watch out for next week is 16,400 on closing basis and the low of the last day. If that gets broken even on intraday, then we may expect levels till 15,600, because I'm seeing no supports on the chart except there's a minor support at 15,930, right? So yesterday's or maybe Friday's low is very important for Nifty. If Nifty is able to defend that, then of course we may see a relief rally. I'm not telling markets are in a bullish state. So let me be very clear. Unless market crosses this level of 17,120, and I'll explain you also why this is a crucial level, because 17,120, 130 was the high of the day when we fell drastically. So you'd have seen on 4th May, we were mostly in green in the beginning, but then of course due to the RBI rate hike, so I've written a whole thread also on Twitter that due to this RBI rate hike, of course markets could not take that as it was a surprise from RBI, because it was not a genuine meeting which was set, right? And we fell around 300-400 points from the highs, right? So that day's high, so any event which is a surprise event, तो उसका high हमेशा बहुत ही important होता है. So that's why 17,130 is a level above which I'll be bullish on the markets. For now, the view is sell on rise, because markets are in such a state where the trend is weak. Of course, we have seen a breakdown below 16,800, which is a very crucial support level, right? जहाँ पे multiple times we were taking support. So 16,800 and 17,130. These are the two levels we should watch out for in the coming days, right? Because जब तक ये दो levels on the higher side are not broken, I am not very bullish on the markets, right? On the lower side, I've already mentioned levels. The market is sell on rise until unless we break these two levels, right? To be honest. And on the downside, 15,900 and 15,600 are two levels which can be watched out for. Okay. Now, of course, many of you would have stocks or maybe trading in Nifty, right? So the strategy going ahead should be to hedge your portfolios by maybe being on cash or being on other asset classes, or maybe buying a Nifty put of June expiry on rises. Once we have a rise till 16,800 or any rise should be held to save your money, because in such markets, capital saved is capital earned. So until unless we cross 17,120 on the higher side, I'm not very bullish on the markets, right? Once we cross that, of course, then maybe the trend reversal would happen, and maybe we can expect a new high as well, right? But before that, not. Okay. Now let's come to Bank Nifty. Of course, Nifty, I hope it's clear. Any questions on Nifty, you can ask on the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer that, right? Before we move to Bank Nifty, right? So Bank Nifty is the index which consists of all the major stocks there in banks, in terms of the private banks, right? And private banks chart, especially of HDFC Bank, if I just can open that, does not look that good, right? Because it has been really weak. All the top banks, be it HDFC, be it Axis, the banks chart are not that great. Okay, so definitely if you are bullish on the banks, then the other banks such as ICICI and maybe the ones who have given good numbers should be looked into, right? But overall, Bank Nifty is again not looking very bullish, right? Because again it has broken strong support levels of 35,300, right, which was a very strong support level. Okay, and it is broken with a gap down, so it does not look very rosy for Bank Nifty as well, though we have a very rock solid support at 34,100, right? So of course we all know market is highly oversold, be it in terms of Nifty and in terms of Bank Nifty. So the overall view is not very bullish, but it's a sell on rise view, which I would say in a very cliche manner, that it's a sell on rise until unless we cross 36,300. So as I told you, that event high is really important. So on Bank Nifty, that event of rate high was around 36,300. So once we cross this high, then only I'll be bullish. Otherwise, it's a sell on rise, right? And strong supports lies at 34,200 and after that at 32,400, because below this 2,000 points there is no support levels, right? So be careful if Bank Nifty closes below 34,150, we may go much lower levels, right? In fact, Bank Nifty also made a doji candle, right? Like, so as I told you, doji is an indecisive candle. So buyers and sellers both were indecisive in the last day, right? So that's why it's really important that we mark the highs and the lows of the last day, because that will help us to make a swing trade, a very small swing trade for 2 to 3 days. But the major levels, again, as I have showed you, are there on the charts, right? Now let's it's very important that after Nifty and Bank Nifty, because we follow a top-down approach, first we'll analyze the indices, then we'll analyze the currencies, which is very important, which is USD, INR, and especially dollar index. So if I just show you the weekly or the monthly chart of dollar index, it is very risky at a very important zone, right? Why? Because dollar index is near the high of 2020 and again near the high of 2016. Very important, right? So 2016 and 2020 dollar index made a high of around 103.60 to 103.70, right? These were the highs in 2016, and these are the last 20 years high where the dollar index is, right? So you can see on the charts, 2002 it was near 104, right? And just to give you a brief introduction, dollar index consists of a weighted average of all the currencies all over the world. And if dollar index rises higher, then FIs are more likely to sell more equities in the emerging markets, right? So a high dollar index is not good for us in equities, right? And it is about to give a 20-year breakout if it closes above 104 on weekly basis, right? And it would be a strong, big rounding bottom breakout if you can see, right? But if I can just draw it for you all, it's a strong rounding bottom breakout which is there, right? So it is very important to track this dollar index, because अगर डॉलर इंडेक्स 104 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग देता है then it's going to be really difficult for us, because inflation is rising, interest rates are going to rise, and it's going to be a supply demand mismatch, which I've talked about earlier also, right? So definitely yes, small and mid cap I'll go over there. Akshat, Sunny, yes, 32,000 we can expect, as I told you before, 34,100. HDFC Bank, Prashant, is again, as I told you, it's looking weak, but I'll take stock specific questions later on. Okay, so dollar index बहुत जन नहीं देखते, please track that, track this currency, it's really important. And also our currency USD INR. So USD INR is also on the verge of a big breakout on the weekly charts. So if it closes above the levels of 77, which is, it has not done likely last day नहीं किया उसने, but if it does, then again it's also a rounding bottom breakout. So if the currencies give a breakout on the higher side, then our fiscal deficit is and trade deficit is going to rise, which is not good for our economy, right? So a higher USD INR or a higher dollar index is really bad for the equity markets, and both are on the verge of big breakouts, right? So please track these. So it's not it's really important that you track these apart from all the normal stocks or normal Nifty, Bank Nifty, which you do, because this will give you an early indication where which side Nifty is going to move, right? Because agar dollar index या USD INR gives a breakout, then markets going higher is really difficult, because FIs already have sold so much in the equity markets, right? And if they sell more, then of course it's going to be a mayhem, right? Now let's come to DJI, that is Dow Jones, which is the US markets. So Dow Jones again is at a very crucial level. It has taken support near 32,300 various times in the last few weeks, right? So we can see there's a crucial support zone which is building up, but if it breaks this support zone of 32,300 to 32,500, again Dow Jones is going to give a big breakdown, because there's no support lying and there's an unfilled gap near 28 to 29,000, right? So I'm not telling it's going to be filled right away, but if we make a new 52-week low, with the last 52-week low for Dow Jones is 32,272, right? If we make a new 52-week low and we break that on closing, then of course US markets, which are currently poised at a very good support, right, may crack very big. But if we get a reversal from here, because there's a small RSI divergence as well, we can see that RSI has not made a new low, right? So maybe we can bounce back from here. So next week is a very crucial week, because Dow Jones is at a very crucial level. Dollar index is at a very crucial. Even Nifty is at a very crucial level, because below 16,350, that is the last day's closing, we don't have any support zones. We don't have much support zones on the lower side, right? So let's see what happens in the last week, but definitely it's very important that you track all these indices with Dow Jones, right? Nasdaq, of course, has been the weakest index in the US markets, because stocks like Amazon, Facebook did not report good earnings. Facebook was a little bit better, but Amazon, Netflix did not post good earnings, and that's why we are seeing a new 52-week low in Nasdaq. It looks the weakest among the all, but if you see the weekly charts, again Nasdaq is at a very important crucial support of 2021, right? This was the level from where it reversed in 2021 and it made a new high, right? And again on RSI we have a divergence. Of course, RSI divergence does not mean that the markets will go up, right? But definitely a reversal is possible over here. Okay, so if you're tracking the Indian markets, it's really important to track the US markets as well, right? So I hope I was able to give you a holistic view on Nifty, Bank Nifty, dollar index, USD INR, and again gold as well. So this time it has been a very strange thing that all the asset classes have corrected. Even gold, which is considered as a safe haven, has corrected around uh, 10 to 12% from its highs, right? So it's very, very important that you all track gold as well, because gold looks like it has retested the breakouts of the breakout in February, which it gave a breakout, went up, made a double top or a multiple top pattern, right? Which will get activated if it breaks this level of 1725, right? Because it will be a double top breakdown. It is much more far away from here, right? So right now we are retesting the breakouts. So gold also looks bullish from here, right? So right now is the time where it may happen that all asset classes may go down at in the same pace, and same asset classes may go up again, right, in the same pace. So it may happen gold and equities both run up together, right? So it's really important that yes, silver is also at a very, very strong support zones, right? Akshat, it's because silver has a massive, massive support, but to be honest, I think gold is much preferable at the levels, because silver is little volatile and it is very weak on the daily charts. Also, the charts are very, very weak, but it is at a massive support. So it's similar chart in all the indices. So if you see gold, silver, Nifty, Dow Jones, all are at a very crucial support. All are oversold, but all are weak, right? So this is my overall giveaway for you all, that of course right now all the asset classes which I have talked about, except dollar index and USD INR where charts are bullish, all are sell on rise until and unless they cross those crucial levels, right? Above which we should be bullish on the markets, right? Again, just a small disclaimer again for those who have joined right now, that all the stocks or the views discussed are purely for educational purpose. You should consult your financial advisor before acting onto it. Okay. Now, coming to the interesting part, which I think everyone will like, is the stock specific views. So आपको करना क्या चाहिए, right? In specific stocks. So overall strategy I've given you on the markets, that it's a cautious market you have to be in. It's a sell on rise until unless we cross those crucial levels of 17, 130 and 36, 230 on Bank Nifty, right? And on the downside, I've already mentioned the support levels where you can think of deploying capital for long term, because this is a healthy correction. This is not a bear market, which is starting for the next few years. It's not like that, which I don't believe right now. It's just a correction, which can be an opportunity for you all, because historically we have seen that after rate hikes, the markets have gone up, right? After 3, 4, 5 months. So you can use this correction, invest in phases. It's not like the market will bottom tomorrow and rally to all-time high in the next 15 days. It's not going to happen like that. So you can invest in phases, because I'm expecting maybe a time-wise correction in the next 3, 4 months where the stocks do not move. It can be frustrating, but it may happen. So please have some cash in your kitty so that you can invest at lower levels, and keep holding your strong stocks and keep trading in strong stocks, right? Two stocks which I believe have been really, really strong. I'm just showing you the charts. So one is ITC. I think kitne logo ka favorite hai, just quickly tell me on the chat box. Because ITC is one stock which is favorite for all the retail people like us, right? So ITC has been one of the strong performers or the strong contenders in this fall, right? It has not broken even its previous swing low in this fall. And in fact, last day when there was a mayhem in the market, it rose around 1.5%, right? So ITC is one of the strong contenders. The RSI is also looking strong, and it has broken the range of the last few days on the closing basis last day, right? In fact, volumes were also really encouraging. If I can just add volumes, right? So volumes were also the highest in the past 10 days. So ITC can be looked onto with proper risk reward. Okay, I'm not telling it's a recommendation, but this is something which you should look into for a long trade in the coming weeks as per your trade strategy. Okay, very good, Sunny. You're long. Okay, very good, Akshat. Okay, so ITC is looking. So why I'm showing you a strong stock, because it may happen that within the market falls, some strong stocks keep on rising, right? So you should always in this weak markets try to look for those strong stocks so that you make full utilization of even the market fall, right? The second stock which which is looking good is NTPC. Okay, of course the power sector has been really good. They've been posting really good numbers. So NTPC is something which is looking good. It has again been very strong in this fall. It posted a very big bullish candle and has not broken the low. See, on 19th April or 18th April, NTPC had a very bullish candle and it has not broken the low of that bullish candle, right? So this shows the strength in NTPC. Even after the mayhem in the markets, it has been sideways. So this is a saying in the market: once if the market falls and your stock does not fall, so it may happen once the market reverses and it rises, then your stock will be the one to make a new high, right? And both NTPC and ITC are near 52-week highs, right? It's a NTPC is a breakout on the weekly charts as well. Same goes with ITC, right? So both are very strong stocks with a strong RSI with strong bullish volumes. So both can be looked for a long trade in the coming weeks as per your risk reward. Okay. Yes, Rishabh, very good. It's a favorite. Indra Biswas, yes. ITR, yeah. Power Grid is also a very good, strong stock. Power is in strong demand, right? So as many people are asking about Power Grid, I'll just open the chart of Power Grid. Yes, no doubt, Power Grid is a very strong stock. In fact, it has made a new 52-week high last week itself. So this is good enough to show you, though it's near a resistance zone. Once it crosses this resistance, I think this should do good. And be it Adani Power, be it Power Grid, be it NTPC, all power stocks have shown really good strength. In fact, even Tata Power posted very good numbers last this weekend, right? So Tata Power, even all the power stocks are really strong, right? Coal India, I would defer. It's not a very strong chart, but yeah, it's forming a base near 180 levels. It's not very strong compared to NTPC and ITC, but yeah, it's comparatively not weak as well, right, Sunny? Okay. So, so as why I've chosen 4 stocks right now is 2 stocks which are showing strength. Okay. TCS is a stock which posted the only stock which I think posted good numbers in the IT sector, right? But despite the market fall, TCS has not broken the strong support. All IT stocks have broken their strong support levels of November, December, and March. But TCS is something which is at a very crucial support, plus a positive RSI divergence where the price has made a new low, but RSI hasn't, right? So TCS can be looked into if we have a reversal candle, right? See, here I'm not trying to give you stocks. I'm just trying to teach you how to find strong setups, right? It's very important that you find strong setups so that these stocks can be looked into on the next trades, right? So it's very important that so TCS is a reversal trade. It's not a strong stock. I will not tell TCS is strong because it's weak. That's forming a lower high and lower lows, but it is at a very strong daily as well as a weekly support. So weekly, if you see, TCS had given a breakout near these levels of 3366, right? And is coming back to those levels, right? So it is really important that TCS can be looked into for a strong reversal trade. Okay, correct, Akshat, very strong. Rest stocks I will definitely cover. Don't worry. In the next 5-10 minutes, I'll take stock specific queries where I'll open charts one by one. So Praveen, Tanish, Indra Biswas, Sunny, Divya, please hold on. I'll definitely open those stocks as well. But just let me discuss about the stocks which I have selected to teach you all something. It's not to give you a fish, it's to teach you how to catch that fish, right? So TCS, be it RSI, be it volumes, the volumes are drying on this fall, right? And it's at a very massive support, and it's the strongest in the IT index till now. Because if you see Infosys, HCL Tech, Wipro, all have broken the supports, right? And one weak chart, if I want to show you, is Voltas. So Voltas was in a distribution phase, which we can tell in the markets, because it was not able to cross its previous highs, and at every highs we saw volume sell off, right? If you see, there was a volume sell off over here, right? Distribution going on, and over here as well in the last few days distribution was going on, right? RSI has given a breakdown of a strong support, right? And if you see on the price as well, so price and RSI both were there in a strong range of 35 and 65, and price was there in the strong range of 1120 and 1330, right? So you can see that it was purely in a range, right? But this range got broken last day with very strong volumes. The volumes were highest in the last 3-5 months, and it was a gap down, right? So Voltas is a chart which looks very weak, right? So I've shown you all the kinds of chart. Two stocks which are showing strength, one stock which is available at a very good risk reward, and one stock which is really weak. So those who trade in derivatives maybe can make a bearish strategy on the stock, right? So this was the overall stock view which I wanted to share with you all. Again, it's a pure disclaimer, it's not a recommendation, it's purely for educational purpose to teach you all, so that you all can apply your risk management and money management and trade them in the coming weeks. Okay, so great. So now the time has come where I can take few stock specific questions. So the method will be just write your questions on the chat box with proper stock name and what you want to view for short term or long term, right? So stock name, short term, long term. Okay. Till then I get questions, I'll just run through you our app. So you can download our app from App Store and Play Store, where you have a lot of courses, and there's a free knowledge community group. So this knowledge community group is where we share our market view on a daily basis. We share a lot of market insights, and this is free on our app. So you can just go on to App Store or as well as Play Store. The link I think our team will share on the chat box. You can download the app and you can be a part of this community where we share market insights. We share our daily good morning notes about how the market is looking. And I think most of you would have been a part, but those who are not a part, you can just download the app and maybe explore knowledge community and all the other courses. There's a lot of free content which is available on the app. You can go and download that as well. Okay. So now coming back to the charts. Okay. So yeah, I have a lot of questions on the chat box, I think. First I'll take with, I think, Coal India. Okay. So Sunny's question is there on Coal India. So Coal India, again, as I told you on the weekly charts, first let's analyze. For weekly charts, we saw a bearish candle and a false breakout last week, right? So it's does not look good, but yeah, the strong support levels lie near the current level of 178 to 180, right? So you can hold on to that if you are bullish on the trade, if it's above 178 to 180 in terms of weekly charts. And daily also, I think we have a strong support near 178 to 180. So above, जब तक ये इसके ऊपर है तब तक it's fine. Okay. Next stock is VBL. Okay, so Varun Beverages, गर्मी का time है, Pepsi, cold drinks everyone wants to have, right? So Varun Beverages again has been a very strong stock in this fall, hasn't fallen much, saw very good volumes, big rising volumes, right? And so this can be a stock which can be held on to because it has been really strong in this fall. So until unless it's above these levels of 997 to 1000 rupees, Varun Beverages is a strong stock. If someone is holding, you can definitely hold on to it. There's nothing to worry. Okay. Praveen is asking about Hind Copper. Okay. So Hind Copper, I think is again a weak stock. During the bull market also it was continuously falling. I think there was a big distribution which was going on, right? And today last day it has almost broken the range as well. So I think I'm not that much bullish on Hind Copper. The charts look weak. Even RSI is given a breakdown. So any rallies should be looked into and exit the stock, because the whole metal rally. So आपको एक चीज मैं बहुत अच्छे से explain करना चाहूंगा कि if any stock, so metals, Nifty metals saw a really good rise in the coming uh, last 3 to 6 months, right? We saw a good rally before that as well, and we saw a good uptrend in the last 2-3 months as well, right? Despite that, Hind Copper was not rising, so it was underperforming clearly, right? So the relative strength was very less and was very weak stock, right? So better to stay away and maybe shift to another strong stock, maybe like a Tata Steel. That would be better, because I think there's no support zone till I think 80 levels, and there's a gap as well to be filled, right? So I think Hind Copper is a very weak chart, so you should exit. If you get any rally, I think that you should exit. Okay. Tanishk is asking about Kolte Patil and IBReal. Okay. So I think please ask for only one stock, that would be better, so that like, others can also get opportunity. So Kolte Patil, yes, it's a strong stock on the weekly and the monthly charts. It gave a breakout and it is retesting it. Okay, but again, due to this rate hike, real estate may face some short-term issues, right? But overall, I think Kolte Patil is a good stock in terms of real estate. It has to cross these levels of 285, 290, where it is facing strong resistance zone, right? So Kolte Patil, though it's a strong stock on weekly charts, but it has to cross these levels for fresh buying, I would suggest. And if you are holding if the stock, then 218 should be the negation level where you should exit, because if this breaks, then the breakout failure happens of this inverted head and shoulder on the weekly charts, right? RSI has been weak, so maybe it would retest this levels support zones of 215, 220 in the coming days, but it's a stock which you should hold till 218. If that breaks, you should exit, and if any rally comes, maybe you can exit if the view is not for long term. If the view is for long term, then you can hold on until unless 218 breaks. Okay. Next is, I think it's okay, very strong support TCS. Your view on Mindtree and LTI merger. So I think the merger is does not provide any arbitrage opportunity, but I think what I have read is it's more profitable or more better for LTI, right? The charts again for Mindtree and LTI does not look that great. Both are trading up below all the moving averages and RSI. Today I have not added any indicators on the chart because I want to keep it very plain in terms of price action. Maybe in the next YouTube live I'll show you some indicators and I'll teach you a strategy as well. If this way the love comes in from you all, okay. But Mindtree LTI, I think it's positive more for LTI because that will be the holding entity, and LTI charts, of course, this 4,400 levels, 4,500 levels is a very very strong support zone, right, where you can maybe accumulate it for long term, because we already have seen, I think, a very good correction. We have seen almost, I think, 30-40% correction for LTI, right? So it's almost a 40% correction from the highs, right? So you can accumulate this for long term. I think LTI is not a good bad stock, and it is available at a good support levels, right, on the weekly chart. Okay, and even on the monthly charts, if I see, right, LTI is retesting those strong support levels. So maybe you can start accumulating them. Okay, because see, IT stocks are weak, no doubt, but IT stocks are not bad for long term, because IT is the future, technology is the future, AI is the future, right? So maybe you can accumulate good IT stocks in this fall. Okay, because कुछ भी चीज long, so I'll just give you a very small figure. So on a median level or on an average level, Nasdaq has corrected around 32% in all the bear markets. So as I showed you the charts of Nasdaq, Nasdaq has already corrected 24 to 25% from its highs, right? If I just show you, already 25% ये गिर चुका है on the highs. You can see that, right? So or maximum 5, 7, 10% it can correct. Normally यही होता है in a bear market on an average basis, right? So if Nasdaq recovers, so it's already at a very strong support, as I told you, right? So you can accumulate IT stocks, start accumulating stocks. It's not that you have to buy at one go. You can buy at different levels, and you can accumulate that. Okay. So the next question is HDFC Bank for the next 3 months by Prashant. Okay. So HDFC Bank again, though it is at a very crucial weekly support zone, right? But I don't know. Well, I'm not that much bullish on HDFC Bank. Reasoning that it did not post good numbers. In fact, ICICI posted much better numbers, and ICICI has been a very strong banking stock in the last few quarters. It has posted really, really good numbers, right? So HDFC Bank maybe it's had a good support, but you never know, because it has been selling by strong volumes. So if you see, the red candle volumes have been really, really strong, and there's been no reversal from HDFC Bank, which shows it has weakness till now, right? So HDFC Bank for the next 3 months, if it breaks 1300 levels on closing basis, then one should exit, right? This low of, I think it's 1292, so 1292 should be your negation level, right? And I think you should exit if any rally comes, and maybe shift to much better banks like ICICI. Okay. Next is, I think, Mahindra and Mahindra. Okay. So audience, how is the live going on? If it's good, how's your feedbacks? Please keep sharing your feedbacks on the chat box, so I am also motivated to see more and more charts. Okay, so M&M again has been a very, very good stock, a very strong stock in this fall. Of course, it has a good resistance level near this 930, 940 zones, right? But it has been really strong. M&M is doing really good work in the electrical space as well, and posted good numbers also, right? So M&M, once it crosses this strong resistance 940, it should do good, right? On the downside, it has formed a good base near this 700 level. So this is the range for there on the weekly charts, right? Daily charts, of course, it has been facing distribution on the higher side. So once it takes out this strong levels of 950, then I think it should be a very good rally. And I think the way it's forming these patterns, it is going to very soon cross the all-time high, because it has been very, very strong. And of course, it has been a strong candidate in the auto stocks. Okay. So next is from Nanesh Rajratan, short term. Okay, as well as long term. Okay, very good. So Rajratan, okay. Rajratan gold wire. Okay. So again, okay, the stock is a strong one. It gave a cup and handle breakouts on April 22nd. It is trying to retest those breakout. Okay. So again, a good stock, I think, on the charts, daily, weekly charts, both are good. So if you are holding this stock, I think you should keep holding, because the charts look very strong even on the daily and the weekly charts. See that? So on the exit side, if you are looking for some exit levels, then what I can suggest you is this low of or this base of 508. This seems to be a very strong level, right? So this level can be your negation level for any exits, right? 500, because if it breaks 500, then it would be a trend reversal, right? Because it formed a base and then it formed a new high from there. The stock has been really strong in this wall, and we should keep holding this for short as well as long term. Okay. So thank you so much, Tanish. Thank you so much, Indra, for this kind words. Praveen, which industry will be in next reply? So I did not get your question, Praveen. Can you just reframe that, right? So Tech Mahindra, Naveen is asking. Okay. So Tech Mahindra, of course. Oh, so this is one of the IT stocks which has seen a strong reversal. Okay, very good. So maybe, yeah, this is a time where if the mid cap IT is reversing, so it's formed almost a bullish engulfing on the weekly charts, strong reversal, and on the daily charts, it is first time formed a higher high and higher low after this strong one-way fall with strong green volumes. So definitely, once it crosses this level of 1300, which is a resistance, which I would say, right? This should do good. But yeah, this is a strong IT stock. I think one should keep on radar. Once 1300, I think, is crossed, you can see on the hourly chart there would be a strong resistance near, yeah, 1300. There's a strong resistance zone. So definitely, once 1300 is crossed, I think we should see a good rally in Tech Mahindra. Okay. So next is, I think, by Ketan, Amara Raja Battery. Okay. So I'll just take the last two questions because uh, I've already taken a lot of them. But don't worry. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can always drop me a mail, or you can, if you have my WhatsApp number on in YouTube also, I'll be active. So you can definitely ask your questions over there later on. I'll answer them, but due to lack of time, I'll just take two more questions. So Amara Raja Battery, Ketan, is again a very weak stock. Did not participate in this whole bull run. It has been weak daily charts, weekly charts, monthly charts, right? They have been really weak. Okay, so better to avoid these kind of stocks and exit it. Just for these stocks, you can do a very simple strategy. Just you can add a 21-day moving average, right? Just you can change the settings 9 को जाके 21, because we have 21 trading days. जब तक ये 21-day moving average के ऊपर consistently sustain नहीं करता, you should not enter these stocks, because these are weak weekly and daily charts, and these are very weak stocks, right? So it's better we should find some strong stocks as I showed you, right? Thank you so much, Divya, Akshat, Prashant, Akash, for this wonderful feedbacks. So one last, as I told you, I'll take, so VIP cloth is asked by Prashant. Okay. So VIP clothing. Okay. So it's I think a small stock, 26 rupees. The chart structure is good. It's making a higher lows on the daily as well as weekly charts, like respecting the 21-day moving average very well on the weekly charts, right? So until and unless it does not break this previous swing low of 23, I think one should be there in the trade. If you're there, or if you're buying, this should be a negation level, right? So overall, it's a penny stock, I think, but the chart structure is not bad and has been not very weak in the last few days, right? So maybe you can hold this stock with a stop loss of this levels, right? So once again, thank you so much everyone for joining on this live on this Sunday evening. I hope I was able to add value, give you the market view, and give you some stock specific views, and I was able to solve your queries as well. Thank you so much for your feedbacks. You can keep sharing your feedbacks on this YouTube view. Okay. And once again, before I sign off, this disclaimer is there. All that stocks discussed is for purely educational purpose. You can consult your financial advisor for your financial decisions. We are not responsible or anything, right? You can go to the knowledge section. You can stay connected with us. The app is there both on iOS and as well as on Android, right? So thank you so much everyone for joining. I'll keep doing these lives on every weekend if possible. If this is the love and the response if you all show, right? And thank you so much. Keep showing those feedbacks. And once again, I hope I was able to add value and this will help you in the coming week. So happy trading for the coming week. Happy investing, and please keep risk and money management in check because markets are really, really volatile. There are very big gap ups and gap downs. So risk and money management is the only way you can manage, and capital saved can be capital earned. So please save your capital. So good night everyone. Take care, and I'll see you very soon in another live and other sessions as well. Thank you.